and don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So recently Ian bought me this. Now apparently the two artists that produced this book, Jane Chip and Jack Ravi, also do like a challenge each month, or they have done for the last couple of years. I don't know whether it's just one set of prompts that they do based on some photographs, but anyway, it bought me this. I've had a chance to flick through it and have a read through some of the things. It says 25 plus projects and techniques. I would probably say 25 plus techniques rather than projects in this. And there's a lot of stuff in here about stitching and the use of, like I say, photographs and creating. I don't really want to flick through the book, obviously, because I don't want to get done for copyright or anything. But it bought me this basically because I've been going through a little period of I won't just say I've lost my mojo. More along the lines of I've lost kind of the drive to sit and do it. I think I mentioned a while ago that I need a new hobby, because this was my hobby. Art journaling, mixed media art was my hobby, and now it's become, you know, more and more become my job. And when I don't want to do my job, I haven't got a hobby. So anyway, yes, he bought me this. Very nice of him, to kind of help kind of kickstart my enthusiasm once again, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I'm digressing. So anyway, the front cover I was kind of intrigued about. And I thought it was a bit of a missed opportunity, actually. They talk about this inside the book, about, you know, how it was done, how to do it, and all the rest of it, blah blah blah. I mean, obviously you can see what it is. They've just taken a photograph and they've cut one person out of it and they've put something behind it. But for me, this kind of white space, this kind of negative space, could have been used a lot more effectively. And I'm going to do that today. So let's just put that away. I haven't finished reading it, by the way. So, photograph. So I've got this photograph, really nice photo of these lovely ladies, probably from the early 50s, I would say, probably stood in the corner of the garden. Obviously very good friends. Could be sisters, could be cousins, who knows what the occasion was. Could be a wedding, I don't know. But that's the whole point, isn't it? We don't know what these people were, what relation they were to each other, where it was, whether it's even in the UK or whether it was in America somewhere. But judging by the fence, I think this is a UK photograph. But anyway, yeah, that's the beauty about using old photos, is that you don't know what the circumstances were, what these people were, what they were called, what happened to them, what their futures were, what their pasts were. We just don't know. And that's the beauty of these things. So what I'm going to do today is I've got a newish kind of art journal. This is one that was given to me by our friends over at Indigo Blue when I did the open day at the store for them, or with them, in February, and I haven't touched it yet. It's completely and utterly unused. It's very thick mixed media cardstock. Fairly smoothish, and I just thought this would be nice to turn into another 8x8 journal, because I think I've got an 8x8 one. I've got a 12x12 one, this kind of style, but not an 8x8 one. The 8x8 ones I'm using at the moment are the Momigami and also the one for my Mission Inspiration project, so it'd be nice to do one that isn't kind of like that. So in this we can use either paint, we can use just inks. Might be nice just to stick to one particular kind of medium or one particular style in this journal, but there's lots and lots and lots of pages in this, and if I do lots of layering on this, it's going to get very bulky very quickly. But the beauty is you can just tear out pages and then use the actual cardstock for maybe tags and that kind of thing at a later date. You can thin these out to your heart's content, really. So the photograph that I got is kind of large for the page. So what I thought I would do is just trim it down a little bit around the edges, lose a little bit of that. But I want to keep those two ladies together, decent kind of size. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this out, just trim around the edges a little bit, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we'll cut that out. Now it's time just to trim and lose just a little bit around the outside. Not so as you'd notice too much. Okay, so that's more like it. That's more like it. So what I need to do now is remove one of the ladies from the photograph. So lady on the left, lady on the right. I think the project will probably work a lot better if we remove the lady on the left, mainly because this one's got a hand on her arm. They're kind of, I won't say holding hands, but they're not really. They're just kind of like holding out wrists. So I think this one probably would be better to remove. So I'm going to grab my scalpel and my cutting mat, and I'm going to remove this lady, and then I'll be right back. Let's see if I can remember what I did with my scalpel. It's buried. Okay, so this is attempt number 2. I did one, made a complete mess of it. My hand slipped, so I had to print it out again and recut it again. So it might be a little bit darker than the original. A bit more contrast in the face, I think. Right, so happy with that now. So what I want to do is I want to start building up some layers in the background. So now that we've got that done, so that's that negative space that you can see there. It's a lot better, absolutely a lot better. I think what I'm going to do is I will go around the inside with a distress marker or a Faber-Castell Pitt pen just to darken the inside of that card a little bit. Right, so let's work on the background. So I'm going to add a couple of pieces of dictionary page. There we go, a couple of dictionary pages, but I'm not going to use Mod Podge, I'm not going to use matte medium or anything like that. We're just going to use ordinary kind of glue. Because I don't want to oversaturate the page. If I start oversaturating the page, then it'll start buckling, and then I don't want that for a brand new journal. I don't mind it a bit later on, but not straight away. So I'm just going to okay. So stick that down. I'm going to leave a little bit of white border all the way around. There we go. And then that'll do. I think that's nice. That will do. And all we're trying to do really is just create a nice little backdrop. It doesn't have to tell too much of a story. You don't have to go and choose specific words to be seen too much because we're going to be doing that with our focal point in a little while. We're just going to do a little bit of layering. Okay, I like the fact that I've got a little bit of a torn edge there. Okay, so also, let's have a look. I've got some, this is the Tim Holtz Ideology Thrift Shop. So have we got a few little bits that we can use? Doesn't really make any difference too much what they are. We've got a little stamp. Let's take the packet out. Let's just tip it out and see what we've got. There might not be a lot left in this, to be honest. No, there's another little photo there. 45 cents. Let's just have a flick through, see what we've got. Cards, another little photo. Tickets, that's one of those, I think those adage tickets, maybe. You can tell how long I've had this stuff, can't you? I don't think they make them anymore. I'm just having a flick through. I think actually maybe in the past I've just thrown things in here. We don't want that. We don't want that. There's some Halloween bits and pieces in here as well, isn't there? Maybe. Just a few bits. Another one of those photos. Yeah, it looks like I've used this as a bit of a dumping ground to throw other stuff in. A lot of this stuff doesn't belong. Oh, like that, standard typewriter. I probably won't use all of this. Although I do kind of like that number 6, but not for this. Look, holding hands, almost similar. Do you know that would be a really nice one to put if the page was bigger, because that could have been as children and then as grown-ups. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Maybe another day. Maybe another project. Okay, so let me just bring that back in so we can have a look to see. Yeah, we can start filling in bits underneath, bits on top, just to kind of create maybe a little bit of a cluster. Just small pieces. Don't want to go mad. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Right, before I do anything else then, what I need to do is to do what I want to put underneath here. So first of all, I'll go grab my pen that I want to use for just distressing those inside edges. So this is a Faber-Castell Pitt pen, raw umber, and then I can just go around the inside, just darkening. So the Pitt pens, if you're not familiar, are from Faber-Castell. They're spelled P-I-T-T, and inside these pens they're India ink, which basically means that they dry pretty darn quick. While they're still wet, you can maneuver and blend, but then when they dry, they're absolutely permanent. But you can get quite some good effects using these. Okay, so I'll just carry on whipping around with this. I'll be back in a second when I'm done. Okay, so I've gone round with that. They used to do a larger version of this one called the big brush pen. And I think they stopped making the big brushes, but I think they do still make these smaller ones. You can get them in sets as well. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive, if you know what I mean. And they do them in different colours, different colour groups as well. You can get a green set, a blue set, a yellow set, an orangey yellow set, a green set kind of thing. Or you can buy a set of like 64 or whatever it is, or 24 or 12 or whatever. So yeah, I've used these in my art journaling for years and years and years and years. It's one of those products that you just put away and forget about and then bring them out again. Like the Neo colours. Yeah, remember them? Right, okay, so the next thing that I want to do for this, before I add any more clusters, I want to add my sheet underneath. So what I've done is I've printed out the lyrics to a song from the 1990s by a group from my hometown, from Hull, here in the UK, a group called Everything But the Girl, and the song was called Missing. Massive hit in the 90s. So what I've done is I've typed out the lyrics onto the sheet, so the lyrics will now show through, but the main, obviously the crux of the song is missing, as in I'm missing you. So what I've done is I've just highlighted the word I miss you, or the words I miss you in red, and then we have the rest that's just in black, and I've cut it just so that it's the same size and fit, so I can just maneuver it to the best, you know, kind of way. And like I said, I'm going to use the glue. So what I'm going to use the glue around this. I did print on the back first of all as well, so we'll just whip round. Because I'm using spirit glue, I do have a little bit of time, wiggle room, to position it best. I fiddled around with the colour on the photograph to make sure that it wasn't too dark for the project before doing anything with it. The beauty of being able to do stuff in Photoshop first. There we go. I think that's probably, yeah. Cool. Love it. Alright, so next let's get some, I wanted some distressing, some brown. I put all my distressings away. My vintage photos disappeared. I think a certain somebody's borrowed it and not brought it back. I've got brush corduroy that I'll have to do. So let me just go around the edge with that. So let's just move that out of the way. Let's do it the old-fashioned way, the way we're supposed to. Bring a bit of warmth back into the photo. When you fiddle with the contrast and the brightness of photos, sometimes you lose just that little bit of warmth. There we go, it's just got a little bit of grunge around the outside. Let's do the same thing with some of these. I can't remember which ones we said we were going to use. I should maybe go back and review the footage first, but let's just do it with everything. That way, if I decide to use it, it'll already be done. If I don't decide, it'll be done the next time I want to use it. There we go. that's everything. Let's pop that up there out of the way, and then I'll just give this a quick wipe, and then I'll be right back. If I can grab hold of one of my wet wipes. So they've all been distressed to within an inch of their lives, so we'll just place this there, and then we can just start to add those little bits of ephemera. Let's do it that way. I'm going to stick them down before sticking the main project down. So anything that I want up here, I'm only going to stick on the bottom part so that I can lift it back off again. An audition on the go, as it were. Audition on the go. Yeah. Oop. Excuse me. We have the glycerin lotion. So where the word glycerin is, and then I think I'm going to have that. So that overlaps there. I think maybe yeah, we're just in that corner there. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to just put the glue on the top and then just slide it under, so that then sticks underneath. Like that. So now we can flip the whole thing over . And add the glue to everything. And then position it back where we wanted it, which is about there. Okay, I'm just going to let that sit for a second or two, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that's had a few minutes just to sit and dry a little bit. what I wanted to do was just to balance the red a little bit. So I've got red in there. There's a few touches of red in the items in the background as well. So I've still got this Tim Holtz stamp set out that I used a while ago. This is the watercolour butterfly set. But I like this row of hearts here. And I just thought that it might be nice just to add a little bit of red in the background. Oh, where'd that come from? Alright, that should do about there. And I'm not going to go really, really heavy. And then flip it and do the same thing again at the other side. Yeah, obviously that ring got in the way down there, but that's fine. That's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Give that a wipe. Okay, so they can go back onto the set. And I think what I want to do is just add maybe just one or two light splatters. Now the thing with transparent blocks is that when you put them down, they just disappear. And I don't know what I've done with that now. I'm absolutely rubbish today. Right, let's just put those away to one side. It'll turn up in a minute. What was I saying? Oh yeah, adding a few splatters. So what I'm going to do is I don't want to cover the two girls. Maybe just a couple of splatters around the page, just in white. Let's just squidge that together. A little bit of white gesso. We've got a little fan brush anywhere. Yeah, we have. Some water. There we go. Always on hand with the water. So a little bit of white paint. And then I can just manoeuvre the cloth a little bit. Just put it in places where you don't want it to go. There we go. That will do. Give that a quick wipe. Now I've got it all over my hands. Okay, so I'll wash the brush off, tidy up, clean up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that's now dry. Let me just make sure that that we're in focus. I think we are. Right, so there you have it. So we've got the newspaper, not the newspaper, and the dictionary pages behind. We've got a little bit of stamping, a little bit of layered cluster collage going on. We've got the lyrics from Missing in the background where Our Lady used to be, and obviously it just says I miss you. So you can make up your own story as to what happened. Did she move away? Did she pass away? You know, what happened to friendship? Maybe, you know, maybe they've lost touch over the years. Who knows? That's the beauty of using old photos. Right, so I'm just going to sign and date this. And today's the 9th And that's me done for the day. So the moral of the story is take inspiration wherever you want to. And that's the whole point about being inspired, is you can get it from absolutely anywhere, whether it's a book, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's a Pinterest board, or whether it's inspiration groups or Instagram, that kind of thing. Just take your inspiration wherever you can get it, because inspiration, when it does come, is really valuable. So grab it while you can. So that's all from me for now. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this art journal page today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.